That concludes our new business. I will now open it up to council reports. Councilman Howard.
Thank you, Mayor. I think our wonderful IT person, Eric, over there is going to pull up a couple of pictures for me right quick. Thank y'all for coming out tonight. Appreciate y'all hanging in there with us. I know it's kind of late. But I'm going to stay on my theme of good, what's going on in the city and stuff. So that's kind of where I'm at. How many of you came out for the National Night Out Against Crime we had recently this time? And you got wet a little bit, right? Yeah, well, the rain quit and we had a great time. Go ahead, Eric, the next one. What that was, it was a kind of a national thing with all over. It was just, a national night out to help people learn how to protect themselves better. And I'd like some special thanks to go to Kathy Emanuel for putting together the scavenger hunt for the kids that night. She had bags ready, and then she provided candy to the council, which I promise I didn't eat any of that I was issued. Right. So the kids had...
Chief of Police is sitting here.
The kids had a list of things inside their bag they had to go find, just like a normal scavenger hunt. So the kids had a great time with it. That's a picture there with me handing out a little candy. So that was a great night. Kathy, thank you for that. The Lakeside Pavilion, as you can see, if some of you might have realized or known that our Lakeside Pavilion had been damaged by a tree a number of months ago. Well, through a lot of hard work and some extra effort, we got that thing back and running. It's open for business. So if you got a family picnic or a family gathering or just want a great place to go, hang out in Briscoe Park, then that's it. It's ready for business and ready to go, all painted fresh, got new lights, everything's good. Speaking of Briscoe Park, I had the opportunity to go over with a friend of mine that works with a group called the Potter's House. And the Potter's House, they had about 80 kids over there they brought over to the park and had a big picnic, and then they split off into groups and learning groups and things like that. But if you're not familiar, the Potter's House Family and Children's Treatment Center was founded to reach out and to serve all at-risk children and families. So it's a great thing going on here. There's just so much going on that we maybe don't know about. But they came over and enjoyed our park, and we were able to provide them some pavilion space for that, and we appreciated doing that. One more, I think. There's speaking of our arts, we've got some things. This was a fellow by the name of Guy Priester puts together kids workshops and drama workshops over at First Baptist Church. And 3 weeks ago, I guess, we had at the farmers market, our award-winning Snellville farmers market, the kids came out and did the presentation of 101 Dalmatians. And as you can see, the crowds that were there, the cool thing about it, the utilization of our mobile stage, is just so awesome, because I don't think we've had a week at our farmers market that we haven't had some entertainment. And people are really enjoying the opportunity to get out there and showcase their talent. But, when you bring the kids out, you also bring grandma and granddad and a whole bunch of people. Well, there's a lot of people circled around this stage watching this thing, and a lot of these people had never been to the market. So they got a bonus. They got the flavor of our market, plus they got to watch the kids do the show, and that was a great thing. So that's, some of the things that go on, on Saturday mornings that make it fun around here. 2 weeks ago, we talked about our community, again, winning an award on our economic development side on the entrepreneurship program at South Gwinnett. Well, the group GMA, the Georgia Municipal Association, publishes a monthly newsletter that goes to the entire state. And we were recognized in that as well. So the entire state is realizing that we were one of the winners of 5 only given awards at the ARC that day. So it's, again, another recognition that Snellville's doing a lot of positive and great things. And I don't want us to lose sight of that. And I want to thank y'all all for coming out. I want you to travel safe going home and get involved. It's a lot of fun. Thanks.
Thank you, Councilman Howard. Councilman Emanuel.
Thank you. I'd like to welcome the Chief back. I'd like to welcome Melissa back. A little bit, I think, one organ less now. But glad she recovered quickly. Ida Graham, Joe Williams, Dennis Lawton, David Brown, thank you for your service. I look forward to your continued service. I think you've all made excellent contributions to the various boards and look forward to you continuing in that regard. The arts changes, there was some discussion. A lot of people had the wrong idea. Originally, I asked for that resolution to be postponed because I saw some potential problems going forward. I addressed those problems in the resolution as modified. I think one of the issues I had was spending $2,000 unapproved when all artwork has to be approved by the council. Seems to me that gets the cart before the horse. What do you do when somebody goes out and buys something? You've already got it, and now council members have an objection to it. So I think it just makes for a smoother operation of the council and ensures the long-term success of that commission. As far as the charter changes go, there are two forms of government, city government in this state. There's one that has a city manager and one that doesn't. From what I can see, our charter is the only one that has provisions that are addressed in these resolution changes. It's the only one that has a city manager that is worded that way. So that puts us out of step with at least 6 other cities in Gwinnett County in terms of the verbiage in their charter. I don't see it as taking power away from the mayor. I see it as taking an out-of-date charter, bringing it up to date, bringing it in compliance with every other city in Gwinnett County that does have a city manager. I think it gives us some options, and I think, frankly, it will help make the council work better together. This isn't about power. This is about moving forward. It's about getting over hurdles. And in my estimation, we make these changes. If every other city in Gwinnett County can operate in this manner, we certainly can. Thank you for coming out. See you in 2 weeks.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Councilman Emanuel pretty much stated my comments on why I'm amending or making changes to the city charter, so I don't need to repeat. It's pretty much exactly what he said. I would also like to let the public know that I am doing some extensive research on board applications, and I have been for the last 2 weeks. Actually, I have 3 applicants that I find very neutral, are very excited to serve for the city, but I have not yet given the mayor the names of these people. How I am approaching these board applications is I take their application as far back as 2007 up to the present for those who have filled out their applications. I speak with them on the telephone. I explain in full detail what each board does, where they sit, who works with them. I answer any questions. I don't want them to have any questions unanswered about the board that they are applying for. And once they make that decision, then I will do a one-on-one, face-to-face interview with them and answer any other questions that they may have. And at that time, I will be very happy to give the mayor some solid applicants, and I am sure that she will be pleased with the ones that I am working on. Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Woods.
If you all remember, following the history, 1985, Joe Snellville JC erected a monument in front of the then city building on Highway 78. And on top of that monument, they put a light, and it stood there lit for 20 years until 2005 when it was moved over to this location. And it's right out here in front of the building. And for reasons unknown to me, they did not relight the light. They changed the monument and made it a solid top. I had requests when I first got on council from veteran associations of why we didn't have it relit, and I decided that I was going to get it relit. So I made that announcement in November, and I promised I was going to do it. Little did I know. First thing that I came across is there's no gas over there. So unless I was going to put a butane tank behind it, I wasn't going to get it that way. So then we came up with the idea, Mr. Davis and I, that maybe we could move it over to in front of the senior center where I could get gas to it. Sounded like a great idea. Until some of the people who put the monument where it is now heard about it, and then they called me and said, look, you know, we built that, we paid for that monument, we like where it's at, we like the location, we don't really want it moved. So now, that meant the Vietnam Memorial was kind of either with a butane tank or we're never going to get a light. So then I put my head to what are we going to do. I did make a promise. So I started talking to some people, some corporations, and some military veterans associations to see if I could get support to perhaps build a new monument. So I did. I got some support for it, and I got a lot of interest in it. So the next thing I had to do is find someone who could design something for me so that we could get a new light. So I contacted a former city council member, Chad Smith. He put in touch with me. Barbara Bender served with Chad, and when I was telling Barbara, who was a member of the committee, if what we could do, who we could get to help design this, she suggested Chad. So about 3 weeks ago, Bob, you and I met with Chad out here on the green, and while we were sitting there talking about it, he started sketching. And I want to show you tonight what our first draft is. It's pretty exciting. I'll use up here so we all can look at a map. I'll take it down for the rest of the council comments to put it back up. And basically, you see where it's going to be when we get all the red tape and everything handled. It's going to be right off the corner of the senior center. Right there where you pull around the corner of 78 Oak Road. There's an embankment there. So it's going to be built into the embankment. So it'll be built into the embankment. It will have military 5-star base on it with stainless steel tubes 8 feet high that go up to the flame on the top of the unit. On the back here, it's made to match all the trim and everything that's on the city hall, so it blends in, looks like it's part of the all these names here will be veterans. These will all be on bricks or tiles actually. And then down here and on the walkway will be bricks, pavers for people to purchase, anyone to purchase. But in order to get on the wall here, you have to be veterans also. And then it's also has a water feature on it, which is not quite defined here yet. It's not quite defined here yet exactly what it's going to be, but it's just a rough draft. It's going to be this or better, I promise that. So you'll hear more about it over the next 2 weeks. We'll be meeting with Chad and we'll find it out, and we'll get. I got DFW, DAV, the American Legion. I'm going to get some other groups involved. They're going to sell bricks for us. They're going to get a little piece of it for selling the bricks, and we're all going to put together. No cost to the city whatsoever. It's all going to be done by built one brick at a time, is what they say. So that's what I'm working on, and I'm real excited about it. And you're going to hear a lot about it over the next 10 or 11 months. We're going to try and get it lit by Veterans Day in 2013.
Councilman Sabag.
These signs that you put up here, Mayor Pro Tem, look really nice from the back. Very clean. I wasn't able to see the front. You know, with regard to the appointments, I did send an email to all council members, and I addressed it as my fellow council members. If you would please tell me if you have any concerns, if you have any issues, discussions that I need to be aware about these individuals who were nominated today. This has been over 10 days. Nothing came up. Not a single email message. Now, all of us here on council, I know that for a fact, or majority of us, I would say all of us, but majority of us carry electronics like smartphones. And when a message comes up, within minutes, there's a response. Whether the email is responded via a smartphone or some other type of device, but the communication is pretty quick. 10 days, I didn't hear anything. And tonight was a disappointment for me not to see Dexter Harrison, who has been a pillar in this community, and I do appreciate you being here, Mr. Harrison. Thank you so much for coming again, nominating yourself one more time, and my hat's off to you, sir. And I would look forward to continue to work with you if I find you, and if our roads cross, I will work with you definitely. You're an honorable man. Thank you for being here. Same thing with Mr. Hank Reed. I don't know what the issues are. I'd like to know still. My door is open. Council members, please let me know, respond to that email. What are the issues that hold you back from nominating these great, fine gentlemen? Number two, as far as the charter is concerned, I can't really go ahead and support charter based on two things. Number one, the changes came in today. I have not had any preview to the charter. Nobody talked to me about it, and not a single discussion, not a single phone call, not a single email, not a single PowerPoint slide, nothing. Talks about charter. But I got to remind everybody here, and I hope those who's watching us on TV recognize the following. There was a vote last November, and the people spoke. We cannot, in midstream, change the people's voices on that vote. There was an election done. If the charter need to be changed, I am, for one, would support a General Assembly to take that charter and change it. I'll be the first one to stand up and say, take it. Change it. Let it be done through that process. So, as far as the charter is concerned, I'm a little bit puzzled about that. Last time we went through that, I also stood up and said, why are we changing the charter midstream? On the positive notes, in my opinion, I'd like to congratulate again Pastor Collins for 10 years being part of the community. And I do appreciate the warm welcome I had at the dinner reception, and that was fantastic. And I'm looking forward to attending your services. Like Mayor Couch said, I think this is a great time to go worship with you. I have had a good time being among the members in your church. Appreciate that one. Chief, welcome back. We'll really miss you having you sitting up here. Appreciate your being there as an anchor for us. And so is Melissa. I hope you feel better, Melissa. And lastly, I've always wondered, how did my wife put up with me for 25 years? This is our 25th year anniversary. She was supposed to be here tonight, and my hat's off to that wonderful bride of mine. She's amazing. I mean, putting up with me 25 years, raising 3 boys, my God, I tell you what, she's an angel. And if she's here, she'll watch the remarks, and amazing. But I do happen to also do anything to keep her. She's a fantastic young lady, and I'm looking forward to a long relationship with my wife, raising the children. Hopefully, looking forward to grandchildren the proper way, with a family setting at mind. Thank you very much. You all have a good night.
Thank you, Councilman Sabag. Now for the mayor's report.